investing in the development of a range of advanced technologies in China, thereby preventing Beijing from accessing cutting-edge expertise and equipment. Meanwhile, the rule, which implements an executive order signed by President Joe Biden in 2023, focuses particularly on advanced semiconductors and microelectronics and the equipment used in making them, technology used in quantum physics, as well as artificial intelligence systems. Now, to me, this is pretty incredible. I say so because this pretty much brings another dimension of the trade war, perceived, call it perceived, but it's a reality. Brings that dimension of the trade war to the fore yet again. And it may interest you to know that this particular one here clearly states that it would prevent US-based people who are based in the US, and companies are also based in the US, from developing a range of advanced technologies in China. Yet, China is still hitting more advances in the tech world by being forced to look inwards. Now, this is something that countries like Nigeria should learn to do. However, this is to take effect on January 2nd, where the rule will prohibit certain transactions in semiconductors, microelectronics, and artificial intelligence. We'll see how all of that unfolds eventually, because clearly the trade war on China has already begun. Now, still on business news from the world of tech, staying in the world of tech, CrowdStrike is in the news because it's reported that CrowdStrike, which is a cybersecurity company, and Delta Airlines have sued each other over an outage in July that brought down millions of computers around the world, prompting the carrier to cancel 7,000 flights in less than a week, where Delta Airlines accused the security software vendor of breach of contract and negligence, and CrowdStrike, on the other hand, is suing Delta for blaming them for mass flight cancellations. Although Delta had disabled automatic updates from CrowdStrike, but these had reached its computers anyway, as they claim that CrowdStrike's Falcon software created and exploited an unauthorized door in Windows that the airline said it never would have allowed. Now, one would think really that this issue of CrowdStrike, Delta Airlines, and even Microsoft, I don't know why anybody's not talking about Microsoft in this issue, right? Now, one would have thought that all of this would have been resolved a while ago, but to think that CrowdStrike, which of course is a cybersecurity company, and Delta Air have decided to sue each other over this outage in July that, yes, we agreed, brought down millions of computers around the world and prompted Delta Airlines to cancel about 7,000 flights in less than a week, is, to me, incredible. I would have thought the two companies would have worked out their differences and moved on from this issue. Alas, nope, they haven't. And then somehow Microsoft is not being brought into play here, because most of the systems that were used in this case scenario were run on the operating system of Microsoft, the OS. That's what it is. And well, we'll see how all of this unfolds eventually, because quite frankly, we have not seen the end of this. And this case, like I did say, is still unfolding. We'll keep you updated as to how it turns out eventually. You're watching Global Business here on the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV. We'll take a short break. When we return, more stories, but then you can kindly join in on the conversation, or maybe even watching live right now on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, do well to hit the like button, and remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also, by the way, follow us on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Stay tuned, more stories after this time out. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Okbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in our market speaking.
Welcome back to the Afia Business Morning Afia TV, and you're watching Global Business. Now to the rest of our stories. And this time we're moving on to stories from the automotive world, who has reported that the German car industry is said to lose 186,000 jobs by 2035 if they are to fully transform to producing electric vehicles, EVs, as electric vehicle car production requires fewer employees overall than in the past, where, according to the German Association of the Automotive Industry, a quarter of these have already been lost. However, this comes as the European car industry is facing a crisis due to drastically changing market conditions, as a push to switch to electric vehicles has led to a transformation that has impacted several companies already. Well, if you ask me, from my standpoint, I would say that this will not be the end. Clearly, 186,000 people would lose their jobs come 2035 in Germany if they are to fully transform to producing electric vehicles, EVs. Well, true the matter is, in China, the reverse is pretty much the case. The EV industry is booming. Yes, I agree, it's not as booming as it was before the trade war between China and the European Union and the US, etc. But then I still believe that even through the trade war, we've seen statistics, right? The statistics clearly show that vehicles produced in China are mostly bought in China. True, yeah. And then the rest of the world gets a pinch of it. And then it also makes me interested to know that out of all the vehicles that were produced within China, Chinese economy sucked up most of them, and the rest came to the European Union, where, of course, there's this drama about the trade war happening, as it were. And then, whether or not you believe it, the advancement in the world of electric vehicles, which is championed by the Asian continent, China more specifically, and then this embargo that has been put on the Chinese electric vehicles has contributed to a large degree to cause a decline, or better still, a nosedive in the European Union electric vehicle manufacturer industry. And then many people would not agree. I mean, a lot of people present in the West and would not agree to that, but that is the sad reality. And well, we'll leave it at where it is, and then we move on to other business news stories, but this time still from the world of the automotive industry. And this indeed is an attempt to end this bulletin, where it's reported that Volkswagen, a German automobile manufacturer, according to a statement from staff representatives, is set to close at least 3 plants out of and then cut thousands of jobs, and also slash pay by 10% for the remaining staff, as well as downsize all remaining plants. However, this is said to result in the outsourcing of many tasks as whole divisions to external service providers, which comes after Volkswagen recently issued a second profit warning in less than 3 months, where a weak demand in Chinese and European markets, along with a botched electric vehicle transition, have hit the manufacturer's earnings. Furthermore, aside the 10% pay cut, there will be a 2-year wage freeze in 2025 and 2026, as the board also wants to abolish a monthly €167 collective bargaining premium and other bonuses. Let's leave all the plenty grammar. Let's get to the basics here. One thing I want to point out is the second paragraph. Second paragraph says that there is a weak demand, so to speak, for Volkswagen vehicles from the Chinese market and even the European market. This is the future, right? This is where everything is going. Pretty much clearly, a lot of one of the reasons is this simple. Let me break it down. Most of these car makers that we're used to, I'm talking about, not talking about the ones from the Asian continent, I'm talking about the ones from European Union, all of those vehicles. You find out there's a way they price your vehicles, and they usually call them premium. There's always something that is premium about the vehicles. But guess what? The moment the Chinese, so to speak, we can't run away from that reality. The moment the Chinese came into the space, they changed the definition of premium. The definition of premium turned to something cheaper but far better than what is available. That's what they did. And that completely changed the narrative, and that to a large extent began to affect productivity for all of these electric vehicle providers, manufacturers, so to speak, and that is what it is. Just like I said in the previous story, it seems like this is the current reality of every car maker that is dominant in the European Union. The sad reality too is that Volkswagen again is set to close at least 3 plants and cut tens of thousands of jobs just because of one thing. Now, you see, the truth of the matter is, most of these electric vehicle makers get most of their parts, workforce. In fact, many of them have their plants in China. To get where it's going, cheap labor comes into play in China. Material sourcing for whatever they need is cheaper in China. As a matter of fact, the batteries for these electric vehicles are mostly down there. I mean, components and everything needed, most of them happen in China, and all of them at reduced prices. So imagine being told you cannot source those things from China. You can't get those things coming from China, so you have to source them from the European Union, and guess what? It's a lot more expensive there. So you see where I'm going with this. So, I mean, this is not going to end. I mean, as a matter of fact, it may get worse. That's the truth of the matter. That's just what it is. And anyway, still talking about this, Euro News took out the time to share insights about this story. Let's take a look.
Many Volkswagen employees gathered in front of the company's headquarters in Wolfsburg, Germany, as they're not happy with recent decisions taken by the car manufacturer. According to the General Works Council, Volkswagen is planning to close at least 3 plants in the country and cut tens of thousands of jobs in the process.
Das verunsichert natürlich ganz viele Menschen, weil das elementar die Zukunft in Frage stellt und wie es dann hier halt weitergeht.
The ones that will keep their job might see cuts up to 18% in their salary. However, negotiations are continuing between the group and the IG Metall trade union.
Es sind sehr drastische Einkürzungen und das macht natürlich die Angst. Man muss gucken, wie man seine Familie ernähren kann.
The management is demanding a permanent 10% reduction in monthly pay and 2 zero rounds in 2025 and 2026, meaning employees would not receive any raises or cost of living adjustments during those 2 years. Meanwhile, IG Metall is demanding a 7% wage increase for the employees. Volkswagen had already announced drastic cost and job cuts at the beginning of September as the job security and the company wage agreements were terminated.
Erst kam die Angst, wie meine Kollegen das schon gesagt haben, dann kam aber die Enttäuschung, weil sowas hatten wir bei Volkswagen noch nie, und jetzt kommt die Wut.
Volkswagen is justifying the tightened austerity measures by stating that car sales in Europe had fallen significantly and the company is selling 2 million cars below the pre-corona level. The second round of negotiations will take place on.
We'll follow up with this story and other stories as they unfold and keep you in the loop. And talk about keeping you in the loop, you may want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. And just so you know, you're still watching the Afia Business Morning right here on Afia TV. Coming up next will be a conversation around the CNG on the Eastern Business Report. Yes, indeed, I already have my guests on standby. The Afia Business Morning will be right back. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market pikin.
Looking to grow your business? At Afia TV, we've got just what you need. With our various on-screen advertising options like speedbags, lower third, sidebars, right in front of your audience. With our lower third, your brand messages appear during the most viewed programs on TV, allowing your audience to see your message without interrupting their TV experience. Now, if you want to go big, our speedbag is ideal because it puts your brand messages on spotlight without interrupting viewers' experience. With our sidebars, your brand messages also takes the spotlight on our screen, ensuring brand exposure. These advertising options are affordable, effective, and designed to drive results. Get started today and watch your business shoot up. For more inquiries, call the numbers on your screen.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Watching the Afia Business Morning, and this is Eastern Business Report, which is designed to bring you up to speed on business activities and policies affecting businesses and the economy of southeastern Nigeria. It comes right after Global Business on the Afia Business Morning, and on today's edition of the Eastern Business Report, we'll be looking at CNG initiatives and the positioning of southeast Nigeria. Really quickly, let's let you understand that Nigeria, as far as this story is concerned, Nigeria is developing compressed natural gas (CNG) as an alternative fuel to reduce its carbon footprint and reliance on imported fossil fuels. The Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL Limited, Malam Melekiari, declared that the drive to bring CNG closer to Nigeria has since commenced and is irreversible. Kiari disclosed this during the simultaneous commissioning of 12 CNG stations in Abuja and Lagos, and said in addition to the massive deployment of CNG stations nationwide, the NNPC Limited and its partners would also build 3 liquefied natural gas NLG stations in Ajaokuta. Now, he went on to say that CNG will be about 40% cheaper than petrol in Nigeria, and with continued investment, it will become a significant part of Nigeria's energy mix. Now, all of these issues and more will form the basis of our conversation this morning. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome. And joining me on this conversation on CNG initiatives and the position of the southeastern part of Nigeria in all of this is none other than Colonel Sigwe, who is the Communications Director, Innocent Vehicles Manufacturing, IVM. He's here live with me in the studio. It's good to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You know, it's not easy to drag you out, but I'm excited that I was able to do this. Welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, let's talk about this real quickly. What are your thoughts with reference to this CNG initiative that the federal government has rolled out, and how profitable will it be for Nigerians generally?
The truth is that the CNG initiative is an idea whose time has come. One, there are many reasons why the government policy should go towards the CNG initiative. One is going to save the economy a whole lot of money. When you look at how much that the government has spent so much on so far on fuel subsidy, because the removal of the fuel subsidy has made the prices of petroleum to go so high. You understand? But the truth is that in terms of CNG, in terms of CNG gas, is far cheaper because Nigeria still have excess of gas reserve in the country. So the CNG is less expensive for transportation and for to use. You understand? We are a situation whereby you use, I think NNPC just yesterday, or the day before yesterday, announced another increase in the price of fuel. Yeah. You understand? Now it's over 1,000 naira. You understand? But the CNG per liter is still less than 200 naira. You understand? So you can see if you have a CNG vehicle, like the vehicle that is using a CNG, you can see how much that you are saving in terms of cost. You understand? So another thing is that the world there is a campaign, or the world is moving into a cleaner environment. You understand? Whereby the pollutions we get from the crude oil from petrol vehicles, you understand, has been causing a lot of health issues. There's a campaign to erase that off. You understand? So the use of CNG by vehicles, because CNG engines are low on emission. Yeah, carbon emission. Yeah, they're low on carbon emission when you compare it with fuel. You understand? So there's a campaign for a greener economy, for a clean, for an energy economy. You understand? Whereby the gas pollution is reduced. You understand? So you see, by the two standards, you understand, CNG is more favorable for the Nigerians to use than the fuel. So our advice is that people should, the stakeholders involved, from the investors, the government, everybody that is involved down the value chain, to make sure that Nigeria switch from petrol to CNG, that it should be done. Okay, now quickly, you see, one of the issues that come up or arise is whether or not Nigerians, the average Nigerian person, is sensitized enough to know that there is a better alternative, which is CNG. Yeah, I think the government has been doing that, but down the street, the information is not yet clear. People don't even understand. There's a lot of people are still in fear about the use of CNG. You know, because of a lot of gas explosion. When you talk about cooking gas, people see that CNG as like a cooking gas. You understand? So there is this fear that once you blow up from there is this fear of blowing up your car and nobody will survive. So I'm talking about the layman understanding. So people are still afraid. you understand, to convert or to embrace it. You understand. So the National Orientation Agency have a lot of work to do. You understand, to sensitize Nigerians about the need for Nigerians to embrace this technology. Right. You understand. You can see the last time that there was a lot of outcry about another increase on the petroleum. The president just said that people should use CNG. You understand? Yes, that information was correct, but the way it was portrayed, it was passed, wasn't a very good PR for the country. You understand? So the government should, through the Minister of Information and also the agency, the National Orientation Agency, you understand, they need to educate Nigerians, you understand, on the need, why it is needful, that this is an idea whose time has come, both CNG and electric vehicles. Yeah.
Okay, now, thank you for that. But there's something I want us to look at now. I mean, you are with IVM, Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing, and one of the key things you've been able to do was to create or manufacture vehicles that are powered by CNG. Now, how would you rate the level of acceptance of those vehicles here, especially in Nigeria and, I know, of course, here in the southeast?
Yeah, there has been a lot of demand for CNG vehicles, especially from the places like the states that have adopted the policy. You understand, like a lot of our customers from Benin, you understand, are making orders of the Innocent vehicle, the CNG version of our vehicles. You understand, we have customers from Lagos and also as well as from Abuja. You understand, so people are patronizing it. You understand, people who understands the especially corporate organization companies, you understand, that has a very fat budget of petroleum, are now switching into the CNG, you understand, because you see that it is less cheaper. So when they are trying to make a budget of buying their vehicles, they go straight for the CNG vehicles, you understand. So the patronage is gradually increasing. But you know that there has been a poor implementation of the CNG, you understand.
I was going to come to that.
You understand. So I believe that once there's an improvement, you understand, the patronage is going to increase.
Now, talking about implementation, one of the major challenges is having or not having, just like you have normal regular filling stations. I mean, you could drive on a stretch of road, you could see 3 to 4 or 5 or more of those filling stations. Do you have any idea of any plan to establish quite a number of those here in the southeast?
Yeah, the truth is that the government have done their part. You understand, in terms of, okay, this is the policy direction. You understand, but we have the investors in these sectors who are supposed to also key into that part. Right? You understand? Yes, in as much as I know that government have their own implementation strategy, where they are, establishing conversion centers, giving out conversion keys for vehicles. You understand? That one is the government aspect. You understand? But in this country, the way government does their thing, the slow pace, the snail project, the snail pace that. But in terms of the investors, people who are already in this market, who are in the downstream sector, you understand, they need to do a lot of investment. You understand, both even the state government and the private sector. You understand, they need to establish. By now, I'm thinking that we should start having a modular kind of CNG. You understand, just like we have. In the way it has in the
modular
gas
refinery,
yes, you understand, whereby just like even 500 tank, you understand, you can, in the neighborhood, people can buy gas. They have a modular kind of thing. You understand? I was thinking by now we should start having that in the CNG. You understand? And also a lot of filling stations too, having the another sense where you can go and get this thing. You understand? So the nation phase is very, very slow. And I know that we have Ibeto that is doing something in Omasi, in Anambra State, and I know that the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukuma Soludo, is doing something too as we speak. You understand? In trying to set up CNG plant in Anambra State. You understand? So I believe that the government have shown that this is the policy direction. You understand? So I know within 2-3 years that the CNG usage for vehicles, you understand, will now be like a normal thing.
Okay, I think let's take a short break. Let's take a short break right here. When we come back, we're going to be looking at pricing, right? We'll look at the pricing. We'll also take a look at, of course, he's in the field, so he knows better. We'll look at pricing. We'll also take a look at specifically at conversion, all right? How we're going to handle this, and where is innocent vehicle manufacturing in all of this equation after this timeout. Please stay.
My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market speaking.
It's good to have you rejoin us, and yes, indeed, it's still the Eastern Business Report right here on the Afia Business Morning. I'm still playing host to Colonel Osigwo, who is the Commission's Communication Director, Innocent Vehicles Manufacturing, IVM, and we'll be talking about the CNG initiative, how far so far, with special reference to the southeastern part of Nigeria, how well have we keyed into this or not, and we still have him here in the studio. So let's get back to this conversation. Just before the break, I did say when we come back, we'll talk pricing. Now, this is key because quite a number of persons are of the opinion that it's too expensive to convert vehicles, regular vehicles, to CNG vehicles and all of that. But really, from your standpoint as someone who's in the industry, what do you think? Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages?
Okay, the truth is that when you are looking at, when people talk about the pricing, they are looking at the short term. What you also need to look at is what is the long-term benefit when you implement this price in terms of the conversion cost. You understand? You see that within 1 year, if you convert, how much that have you been able to save? You understand? So in terms of pricing, it's still the best alternative. You understand? For someone to convert his petrol vehicle into a CNG-powered vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's take a look at some of these things that Innocent is doing at the moment. I know that there is the manufacture of these vehicles and all, and the question that I really want to find out, or I need answers to, is how well has the Southeast, keyed into this with special reference to IVM in the equation? I mean, if you put it on a scale. Okay. How well?
The truth is that I want to appreciate the founder, the chairman of Innocent Vehicle, my boss, Dr. Innocent Chukwuma, who saw this initiative fair early enough as far back as 2020, and started the investment. As we speak now, he's in completion of a new factory that is focused on the production of CNG vehicles and also conversion centers, whereby there will be a retrofitting of vehicles from petrol to CNG. You understand? So you see that he saw that this is the way to go and started the investment early enough. You understand? And the truth is that vehicles, they are ready. We are ready. You understand? Even at the factory right now, they are doing all various of conversion. People are bringing their vehicles, especially the IVN customers. They are bringing their vehicles, and their vehicles are converted. Recently, the road safety ordered a lot of vehicles from the factory, from us, and it is CNG powered vehicles that we supply to them. Yes, we have the governor of Adamawa State too recently that bought a lot of vehicles from us, and it's CNG this thing. And you could remember that when the chairman went to see the president, the president made some orders. All those buses, over close to 50% of them are almost in delivery. You understand? And all of them are CNG powered vehicles manufactured in the factory. So when in terms of readiness, in terms of capacity, Innocent has been ready, and Innocent has the capacity. You understand? But when you are looking at the southeast, like I stated earlier, you understand, they are still, booting or walking up to you. But with special reference to the governor of Anambra State, you understand, because I'm in touch with some of his departments, and I know the effort that the governor is making. You understand, to ensure that there is that Anambra key into the CNG initiative. Okay,
that's beautiful to know. At least there's a state in the southeast that is trying. Now, where do you see this innovation in the next few years? I know that you said something earlier that CNG is an idea whose time has come. I like the way you put that. And what's the future?
That is the future. We are not going back. That is the future. Nigerians, we have to start living with it, that there was a time, 5-6 years from now, you understand, we will be remembering that there was a time that it used to be a petrol-powered vehicle, but now it's CNG-powered vehicle. CNG and electric vehicles are the future. You understand? That's the truth.
Okay, now let's dabble into electric vehicles, since you have said it now. I mean, as a country, are we even ready for electric vehicle transition? Yeah,
we are ready, and we are working towards that. You understand? Innocent is doing a lot of investment. You understand, on that too, and he has also a plan which he's seriously working on to set up an EV, an electric vehicle manufacturing. Not just, I'm talking about the battery.
Okay, the battery.
You understand? Yeah, because the battery is the major component of an electric vehicle. Sure. You understand? That is what makes it expensive. You understand? And all the raw materials that are used in producing electric battery is in Nigeria. You understand? What is not in Nigeria is the factory. You understand? So we have a situation whereby a lot of these are being exported outside the country and are used to produce battery and are being brought back in a very high price. You understand? So the chairman is doing a lot of work, feasibility study on how best to be able to set it up. You understand? So that's the future.
Okay, now finally, just before I let you go, because of the want of time or the lack of time, what would be your parting words to Ndigbo with reference to patronizing made in Nigeria products, in this case, their IVM?
Yeah, I want to urge our Ndigbo that they should see how Iko Tuonye doesn't go far, but Igwebike is the ultimate. You understand? We have a lot of companies that are doing made in Nigerian stuff. You understand? So we have no other option than to patronize them to make it. You understand? We have a situation whereby for example, at innocent vehicles, you understand? When you do statistics, you see that majority of the customers comes outside the southeast. It's not really fair. You understand? It's not really fair. So we want our Igbo brothers to, start patronizing their own. You understand? Because that's how we are going to build a stronger regional economy.
Yeah, true that. I think that's a good place to leave it. And you may want to share your thoughts with me on this conversation and drop off a comment or two on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, remember you should subscribe and so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And you can join us and follow us on our socials on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. And just so you know, I played host to Colonel Sigwe, the Communications Director, Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing, IVM. And we looked at CNG initiatives, the position of Southeast Nigeria. Coming up next will be, of course, the segment we call Onyafia. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.